Yeah, and welcome to Neverwinter with Aragon. So we have some pretty good news. An upcoming fix to the legendary flying carpet is actually going to happen. For PC, this is unfortunately only going to be the coming Thursday, but those of you on Xbox and PS4 or PS will have this patch later today. Now this flying carpet had the problem with its combat power that it would only hit once, dealing only 17% of its potential damage rather than the full 100% of the 1000 magnitude when you have this on Mythic along with Mount Bolster at 100%. So its mount power is way down here, the Vortex. And as a quick example, we can simply go and cast it on this conjured fighter and we can see it just hits once there, even though the whirlwind or the vortex lasts for a good bit longer than that. Along with that, they've also improved its pulling power. So we can see via the tooltip that it says it's going to circle around its targets and pull nearby enemies towards the center. And this is really wonderful when you have a grouped up scenario where you have, let's say, all of these dummies and you want to have them being all pulled together. And we go cast our vortex and you can see all of them getting pulled right close to each other. Unfortunate thing is they can kind of collide with each other, as you saw there, and bounce off each other, which isn't so great. But with the improvement to the pulling power on it, you can see that they're greatly going to actually get pulled towards it and they can't just run out of it. So let's compare that real quick. So we go and cast it here and you can see they get pulled way less than what we saw on preview. The power that it can pull is absolute garbage, but again, it should be fixed for us on PC this following Thursday, which is going to make it, in my opinion, one of the best combat powers to be using in AoE fights. Again, very simply, we can just summon, let's say, this big boss guy. We can go and cast our vortex on it. We can see the amount of damage that it does, and there we go. It dealt over 440k damage. Now we can check if that was like dodges, and 2 of the hits were a dodge and the rest were crits. 163,000 base damage, and we did get 5 hits, which seems a lot more reasonable, and if you could get that on a group of adds, that's pretty good base damage. And compared to the live server right now, we cast our vortex and you just get 1 measly hit. And that's all you're getting in terms of damage, 41k. But again, keep in mind, this wasn't a crit and it was also a dodge. But you can see my point. They've massively increased the damage output that it can deal. And if you go and compare it with something like the Wings mount combat power, also 1000 magnitude, we go cast this on our dummy guy and we got just 320k damage from our divine intervention. However, the magnitude is up there at 660k base damage. However, that is actually less than the vortex when the vortex hits 5 times, because 5 times 163 is over 800 base damage. Meaning, again, the vortex can actually deal more damage. However, we go compare it with another AoE power, which in my opinion is one of the best, is this magnificent inspiration, or the grand inspiration from the Pegasus mounts. We can go and cast this on the dummy and we can see we get a nice big hit there of 686k. Yeah, it's a very big hit, but it takes a while for it to actually cast, and when it does hit, you can see it's over 1 million base damage. So it's going to be dealing more damage than the vortex. The problem is, it's hard to kind of aim where your Pegasus is going to be all the time while you're moving around quickly in combat. And along with that, the cast time and no control effect can make it a little bit less effective, in my opinion, than the vortex, just grouping up enemies and you can quickly kill them with your AoE powers. So with this coming patch, we also get a few changes to the event upcoming, the Challenge of the Gods. They're changing it up a bit, so you won't be able to get those challenges within queued content, so you won't be getting those in dungeons and then not even being able to see what challenge you have under the minimap there. You'll be able to check your quest journal, of course, but they're removing those and you can get a bunch of rewards. Unfortunately, nothing new. And a very good fix is that Insignias insignias in your stable that you, let's say, had before module 2 went live. We can see, let's say, on the live server here, we go and unequip some of these exact same insignias, just dominance insignias, and they're not stacking with each other, which is just horrible when you want to manage inventory space. And looking on the preview server here, after the fix, again this is coming Thursday for PC, we can see very nicely they do indeed stack on top of each other, which is going to be great. Now those of you who have been farming the Crown of Keldagon, the epic trial, well, we can get Seals of the North there, which we can spend on certain gear items, and we basically will be capped on the amount of seals we can get per week, which is 500, and no longer will you be able to get like you're capped out 1,500 in a week, and that's unfortunate, but will create Seals of the North to be a little bit more valuable. So with that said, this upcoming patch is again Thursday, and for those of you on console will be later today. So overall, if I presented this well, consider leaving the video a like, and if you're new around here, consider subscribing. We'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.